Good evening, everyone. Welcome to MG Visuals, and the map in front of you tells very much about the video. Again, we are back with the presidential election 2024 in America. November just around the corner, and a second debate for the presidential election 2024 has been just conducted. So Trump and Harris both were looking good at their points in the debate, but the result and analysis favored Harris a little more, though Trump spoke much more than what was expected to, and Harris spoke less. Well, anyways, so this is the electoral college map, and again, so Trump's again being very underestimated as he was in 2016, where Clinton was supposed to win 350, 300 votes, but it was something else. So currently the map shows you the safe states for both sides, which will have a 100% chance of voting for each of the parties. So Harris is at 143 with those states, and Trump is at 125. You can see the chart here, 270. So basically the amount to win the presidency is still left to be counted. So let's just quickly start with it. All these states are either likely or not a solid one. So except all solids, these are the states. So coming on to the far west, Washington is the first state which we will be considering to look at the polls. So polls in Washington say we'll be choosing with the largest poll size. So largest poll size was 708. It shows Harris up by 15, and the latest one it's 14. And so I think let's look at the poly market predictions as well. They're also natural what people think like in all these states. 96% Trump. So sorry, it's Harris. So not to worry, it's below 15. So but yeah, good margin for a state like that. Oregon, meanwhile, we see it was kind of flipping to the right a little bit, but I think it's regaining its position. Maybe not. Five for Harris. Biden was a better figure in Oregon. If you see that through the polls, you can see. And in the state of Oregon, as per the poly market predictions, what people think on poly market, the betting odds, it's 97% chance, so more better chance than Washington itself. But as per the polls say, it's lean Democratic state. Coming on the state of Arizona and Nevada, both of these states are crucial swing states of the West. These are the only swing states of the West, if I would say it precisely. First, we'll look at some polls in Arizona. Trump is coming very near to 0.8, which was once 2.2 or 3-point lead. It's coming to under a percentage. So, for every poll favors Trump, we can also look at the poll market predictions, because such states are never to be decided only by the polls. So Arizona has a good chance for Republicans to win, 61%. So with that, it's confirmed. Arizona will be a tilt Republican, or maybe a tilt Republican state. Yeah, because we can't trust whatever the polls or the poly market says. Again, Trump is being very underestimated by those polls. And if we see Arizona in 2020, in Arizona, 2020, Joseph R. Biden was leading by 2.6, but yeah, it came down to very little 0.34, and that was a setback for him. So never mind, leave the 2020 ones, and let's go to Nevada, a very close landlocked state of Nevada. We will look at some polls here as well. Harris is said to be the leader as per the consolidated poll, 0.1%, where every single poll here favors, majority of the polls here favor Trump. So we can now move to the poly market, as poly market is a good predictor what actually people think about the state. Republicans have a slight chance of 1%, so even that is a good tiebreaker. Nevada would be a tilt Republican state. But one thing I can say is that popular vote is a little over 80% prediction that Harris will carry the popular vote. That's no doubt. So coming on to the state of Colorado, which is more solidifying these days for Harris, so that's a good news. She doesn't have the risk to lose these 10 votes, which you will not, obviously. August 38 to September 8 polls say Harris up by 15, and Poly Market says the state of Colorado is 97%, and the same as Oregon. We can put it at the likely Democratic state. Now in the state of New Mexico, this was dicey one as well. The state in the between the mainland that pierces it, and those blue states piercing the red wave. Meanwhile, leave that. Harris is up by 7-5, so I have to say as same as Oregon, maybe. Yeah, you can put it at the lean Democratic column because it can come closer even as we go through we go close to November. And coming on to Texas, the big bank state of Texas, 40 electoral votes. Harris is trailing by 6.1. So that's, I think, enough to say and speak that Texas will be obviously carried by Republicans, 86% chance. So that's enough to decide for us that this state with 40 electoral votes will go to Trump by a lean margin. Coming on to the state of Florida, 30 electoral votes. Again, this state is the third biggest state by population wise, and 83% chance, and I think that's enough. And Texas and Florida are going hand in hand with each other. I think both have the same predictions. I don't know why Florida looks darker than Texas, though they have the same color. Anyways, coming on to the state of Georgia, 16 electoral votes. This state has also been coming close as Arizona is. Again, I think Trump is being very underestimated. I am repeating this 100 times because the polls right now, which I'm making in front of you, may or may not be actually in favor of Trump. Say 0.6. That lead has come to that close, but the poly market is the tiebreaker. If poly market says, okay, never mind. I was about to say Democrats lead. Republicans lead by 59%, so that's enough to conclude that Georgia will be a lean Republican state as Florida. Coming on to the state of North Carolina, polls are shocking here as well. This state, I just saw the polls recently a day ago, and this state has been very confusing, very perplexing, very astonishing. Harris leading by 0.2 in the consolidated polls, as well in the latest polls. If you see, Harris is leading by 1, 3, 3, 3, 1, 2, 2. Okay, negative. Okay. This is again going to poly market for a tiebreaker in the state of North Carolina, which shows Republicans up by a good margin, 59%. You can see that automatically. No need to go into that. North Carolina is a lean Republican state. With that coming in, Trump's at 244, and we now head to the Midwest, where the actual election gambles. So, state of Iowa and Ohio seems to be two brother states. Ohio is going good for Trump, 92% lead. Iowa 94, even better. So Ohio will be likely, but I think Iowa can count it as likely as well. Not solid. So Trump's nearing election victory 267. He just needs literally just 3 electoral votes more to win, but obviously that's Pennsylvania, which will make him stand out a lot much more. And in the congressional district of Nebraska's first one, Harris is leading precisely. And split vote says District 2 Harris 80 plus. So it's confirmed that Nebraska's second congressional district would be a lean part for Harris. Coming to the state of Minnesota, you want to see the polls, just poly market says 93% up for her. So yeah, Minnesota polls. Let's see some polls also as well. That clip gives us a clear picture. So yeah, looking at the polls in Minnesota, say Harris up by 7. So that's great news for her. Maybe yeah, if there was no surprise in sense, Harris up by 7-5. So can say that yeah, likely Democratic state legacy of voting for Democrats 52 years still not in vain. So those 10 electoral votes are still with Harris. Now in the state of Wisconsin, those 10 electoral votes again to be counted. And if we look over the polls, it's Wisconsin are led by Harris 2.8. So it's flipping very rapidly, very swiftly. Harris has lead in Wisconsin 58%. That is enough for us to say and decide that Harris will be carrying Wisconsin by a lean margin. Harris nearing 200, but Trump nearing 270. And we count on to Virginia. The state of Virginia is a good Democrat, 89% chance Harris would win, and that's what we need to decide Virginia as a likely Democratic state. New Jersey will follow the same, and New Jersey is a good one actually, 96% chance. New Hampshire, Harris is 85% chance. That's a little tricky for him. Rhode Island, 98% chance. So New Hampshire will be lean for Harris. Rhode Island will be a likely one. Now, in the state of Maine as a whole, first, Maine as a whole, say Harris is leading by 86. If we see split votes here, Trump's leading in District 2. Meanwhile, that's not what in the polls are saying in Maine's second congressional district. Maine is supposed to be swept by Harris as per the polls. Even you can see the second congressional district as Harris up by 5, but that's if the margins are too high in poly market, we have to say it's because it's actually randomly what they do think. So that gives a better clear picture. So main second congressional district can be good, but wouldn't be assured for Trump. So Michigan and Pennsylvania to come in. If Harris carries these both, she's at 270, and if Trump carries Pennsylvania, 287. If he carries Michigan, also 302. So that's that. These two states are going to be very dicey. Coming on to Michigan, the state of Michigan is coming close, but Harris is leading by 58. And if we look at the poll in this state with 15 electoral votes, it's clear that Harris is leading by 1.83. Again, I would say it's very underestimated for Trump. So Michigan's going back, turning back to right, but wouldn't be as much as it is desired for it to turn completely red. So coming on to Pennsylvania, the most decisive state of the election, and 3, 2, 1. Harris is trailing in Pennsylvania by 4 percentage point. Meanwhile, the polls show if polls show Trump up, I think it's clear. Pennsylvania Harris leading by 0.6, but that's consolidated. If we look at the actual polls, majority of the polls are favoring Trump, so that's enough to say that Trump is seizing the presidency from Harris. Obviously, Harris is winning the popular vote, but that wouldn't be enough for her to be the first woman president of the United States. Trump is again stealing the Electoral College with 287 race being more decisive than 2020 and 2016, but yeah, again, it's being very underestimated for Trump. What I think what the actual polls would look like, I would say Wisconsin, Michigan, then even Virginia, for some sake, would be for Trump. But if these are just solely based on the polling averages and the betting averages, so Harris is losing the presidency to Trump for 251 to 287 electoral votes. So that's it for today's video. I'll catch you up for another one. Just making another one after ending this one. So stay tuned to the channel. Lots of video coming. And yeah, thank you. Bye bye.